Welcome to our panel conversation. Thank you so much for joining. This is Yehia, and we have Tamara here. Both have studied with us. I'm Katarina, I'm a lecturer here at Design Management. And today we would like to look a little bit into the journey you had and where are you now. So I think, so you have been students here. And you are now probably, I assume, leading very different lives and working in different fields. Maybe not, maybe there are some overlaps. But what do you have in common? You graduated from design management. And you have something that you both probably had for when you studied here, and it was the love for learning. And you made it. And you overcome the challenges that have been here. And now I'm curious what you are doing. So first of all, I'm curious, when did you graduate? In which year?
We graduated 2023, so 2.5 years ago. Yeah. Together in the same class.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So it's already, it was another building. It's a new building now,
yes.
But yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are here now in this building since this year. It's very new. And yeah, still know the old one. And so quickly, please tell the audience who you are. I already introduced you a little bit. And what you are doing now. And how you got there.
Want to start? Okay. Yeah, I'm Tamara. I work and live in Zurich. At the asylum organization, Zurich. We do have projects that help the integration of refugees that arrive in the city of Zurich, but also in the canton. And we do different kind of projects, strategies. We have asylum homes, houses where they live. Yeah, short.
Very good. I'm Yehia Abouzaid. I'm project manager at the Swiss Red Cross. So I work at the textile department in Bern, Canton Bern, and most of my project related to circularity, and also besides circularity I have website designer, and also initiate some concepts about how to reduce like textile waste, as I told you before. Yes.
What is circularity?
Ooh, wow. So how to, in a simple way, it's how to keep materials, resources in the loop. This means the material don't end in the landfill. So you could put it in any kind of material. So we live daily, like even food, even clothes, like fabrics, all the materials surrounded by us. So you have, let's be 2 loops, technical loops and the biological loop. So you have some sources could be ended as a composting, like food, for example. And also there is now new innovation about fabrics, how it could be composed, and the technical part, how to recycle like metal, steel. So, for example, if you have a piece of pants, for example, so this piece of pants, you have the fabrics, then you have the zipper, or you have the bottom. So this is the technical side, and there is others like to compost. So the idea is to how to keep it always in the loop. So there is no waste. Yeah, this is in a simple way. Yes.
Thank you. So when you think about what you have learned at DMI, what is it that you are applying in your job? Because we heard there is a lot that you are learning. It's very diverse. What is it that you can really, or that you are actually applying maybe day to day, and that helps you a lot in your job?
One of the big things for me, what we heard before also in your presentation, is how to bring people and different needs together. In my job in project management or strategy design, however you want to call it, I'm trying to find out how we can create design offerings for refugees that not only include their needs, but the needs of the staff, the needs of the city and the canton of Zurich, the needs of the environment, the space we have. So yeah, that's a big learning for me. So the whole point of mapping, understanding the connection of the stakeholders involved. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when you say mapping, because mapping is something that we do a lot, and you do really draw visual maps, do you still do this, or has this practice changed?
Somewhat, I still do it. It connects a bit to the question that you asked before, because I'm trying to bring it into the organization, but I work with a lot of people from social work, field, ethnography, cultural science, so not really the design part, but I'm trying to bring it in more and more. But it takes time for them to understand the value, to understand how we can use it. So slowly but surely, yeah.
Yes, so I would say I have two levels of learning. Like from a practical side, I was lucky here to have this project related to textile, which I had one with circular clothing as a partner and cradle to cradle. So this actually helps me a lot for my position now to bring experience. And this was also in a way of understanding about challenges, current challenges also, not only in Switzerland, but as a impact, problems. And this for me something very important, how I could to work with value, because this is something related to me, in a personal level. And the other side, what also I have learned here, collaboration, because since we work a lot in teams, how I could be resilient as well. And this helps me a lot. I mean, in the end, since also the program is very diverse, international, so everyone comes with different background. For sure, there will be a conflict. That's fine, but that's fine. Yeah. So I think in reality, you always work with team with different background, and you have different understanding, also different way of doing the task. So, for example, yes, it's not everyone know about design management, not everyone know about the skills, how would you bring things. So sometimes, for example, mapping, I do mapping for myself because this is the way how I could see and process and see the connections and relationship. And then sometimes, what's that? I mean, they don't know how come I'm there, but this is the way how I process. Also, sometimes I learn German in mapping.
Yes. 2 in 1.
So categories, different. Okay, and today is about the kitchen. What is inside the kitchen? This is the word. So this is, for example, as a tool that you could use it to do anything. So this is what, for me, was very inspiring in general. Again, it's a mindset. It's a tools that you could apply it in different ways, also for your life. So it's not only for working.
Yeah, I think what's interesting also when you're sharing, because with this question, how do you bring design management into organization? And it's not just by maybe advocating for it or describing it or something, but really just doing it and walking the talk in a way, right? And then step by step, the people see the value in a way because you do it differently.
Yeah, I think that's a key point. You do it differently, and that sparks interest usually. Yeah. And it's what are you? Yeah. What is this colorful thing you're doing? Exactly. Now I'm trying to explain. Look, what I'm doing here is this and that, or the tools that you can use. What is a Miro board? It starts with very small small steps. Yeah, but it's nice because you see it flourish now, and for me especially, it's nice because I come in as I said before, as someone really a bit more outside. And I think that's why they hired me, because they saw the value in this interdisciplinarity. And now to see it flourish and to not only learn from them, but also them seeing to learn from me or from my skills, that I learned here.
Yeah. I could also add a small point. Sometimes also you wear different hats in your position. So it's not just you're doing that. And this is also a very good advantage with design management, that sometimes you are, let's say, for my case, I know more, I'm interested more about circularity, but also sometimes I could make strategies or I could create things related to sales, for example. I know it's not related, sorry. But the point is, or sometimes it could be a facilitator as well. And this is also a point that most of the organization still this rule of working across discipline, or there is no a position titled in that sense, because again, you have different fields you are focused here in the program that in the future, you know, sometimes, okay, you need to kind of making the common ground between these different disciplines, how to bring them together. So for sure you don't know the big know-how, but you know the specialists who could help you in that. But this is also like another way as a facilitator. Okay, now you work with this department. Sometimes it's special like marketing, the other one, I don't know, doing what X, Y department, but you know how to also go through different layers, I would say. This is also very important.
You're like at the intersection
Yes.
of different departments and trying to bring them all together.
Because there is a conflict always.
Always.
Yes.
So when we think back to your time here at Design Management, what sticks out to you the most? What stayed with you? What's in your memory?
I think for me is the creative approaches to trying to solve or find a solution to a problem, or let's say to a concept to make something better. We did a lot of group work. I really enjoyed that in the program. It's like smaller groups, big groups, sometimes class work, sometimes you go out and do some field research all together. And I really like this, different approaches somehow. And the connection, as you said before, like the group work is sometimes a bit tiring because you always work with people, but in the end, that's what you do in your job. And I think it's very good preparation for what I'm doing now.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes. Very important one.
It paid off.
Yes, yes.
It's not always easy though.
It's a big challenge.
We also had our
But we went through it.
We come to the challenge.
Yes. For me, yes. I think one big learning, I would say, since my background from architecture, so let's put it as a designer, you have this kind of ego feeling of, I'm the designer, I'm doing that for these people, and you don't know anything about people. And this was like the first aha moment here, like, okay, avoid your assumption biases, just go ask them, what do you need, why do that? And this was the big gap and difference between architecture or the way how I learn and I process then my learning here. So this was like, okay, we need to ask the people, what are you doing, why you are doing that? So I think one side it comes about this curiosity. Also, we have most of the project, like we do this co-workshops and interviews. So this is very important element to understand when you intervene or doing a solution. It's not just coming from you, but it's also really coming from down. And this is the big part, big learning for me. And I would say teamwork. This is one of the things that it was like helping me a lot.
So in a way, actually on many different levels, so the people are actually always at the center. Maybe your own team, maybe the people you're designing for and with. So it's always how you build the relationships.
Yeah, it is pretty much, And I think not in all organizations that's really the case, or not yet, hopefully at some point. But sometimes that's a bit forgotten to include everyone that actually profits or is somehow related to what you're designing. Can be a product, can be a service, but usually organizations or a lot of times don't include all the factors. And that's really important, actually. Yeah. Especially, for example, the environment part is usually forgotten. Yeah.
And when we now think about the challenges you had during your studies, what was it and how did you address it or overcome it?
I mean, I still goes my point. Okay. Yes, I mean, for sure, since it's also we have different backgrounds, so this is a big challenge how to work in a team. It's a really skills, like how you form together, how you also address your conflict or your feelings. And then, because this is also part of like forming, so you have this storming, the first level, and then slowly start to understand. So also like creates kind of empathy, also like listening, So, and then how you could just like come together, work, because you're gonna work for 3 years together, 90% or more than 90%. And this is one of the challenges for me, because every time you have different group members. So it's not fixed, but this is also, you learn a lot, because everyone comes with different backgrounds and different perception. So it's most of the time, I mean, it's a good challenge, a positive challenge for learning. And I mean, in the end also like managing time with the workload and also understanding. And so things like this is very important, like for me, how I could just balance things together. Yes, I think, this is one of the most challenges, I think, I would say.
I would agree, like to work with the dynamics of different groups. Not only the dynamics of the group, but I think also one of the challenges is a lot of times in projects you work not knowing. Mm-hmm. You don't know where something's going to lead. Sure. You know the problem is X, Y, Z, but you don't know what's the solution or what's the proposed strategy to make it better, the circumstance. How is it going to be? What is it going to be? Is it going to be a product? Maybe it's going to be a strategy, maybe a concept, maybe, it could be a bit of everything.
Yes.
And I always, like in my first half year, trust the process was like a big sentence.
Big sentence, trust the process.
The magic 3 words, yes. Which we always made a bit fun of, to be fair, but it's actually true, because it needs time to understand, and that's like the biggest part of the project. You need time to understand, and then at some point you see
it will come.
that something emerges.
Yes, true.
Yeah. And then one more thing I think I would say, to find your place in the industry, in the working world, mm-hmm. because there's so many ways you can go. There's so many skills you have, but again, it takes time to understand what is my focus, how does the skills align to my values, and how can I bring the skills into a field. And then how do you sell yourself, sounds not right, but how do you make sure they understand what value you bring? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was there something specifically during the studies that helped you to somehow find your place?
For me, time and networking, connecting to people. We usually had these lectures every few weeks, mm-hmm. where there's a professional from an industry coming, talking about what they're doing, so you can kind of understand, that's what I want to do, that's maybe not really. Yep. And I say this as it's a challenge, but it's also the beauty, because like the options are quite big.
Yep.
So it's both a challenge and
it opened a lot the eyes to you to see also how could you apply now, what are you studying in the future, because mm-hmm. also this is different tracks that I never thought about it, I could actually do that. And also they are very inspiring too, because this is like, it helps you sometimes meanwhile you are studying, also as a point to reach. I mean, this is also a good opportunity, always mm-hmm. like they are very open to reach and ask them. This was very inspiring for me as well, networking, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. Yeah.
Thank you. So we already heard a lot about how you develop professionally, and also some personal aspects. But I'm curious: is there something how you would say, okay, studying design management really also changed me personally? Maybe I look different at something, or I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a lot of lectures, maybe also courses that focus on personal development, on reflection, not only what's going on in a project, reflecting if it's the right way to go, but what are you doing, why are you doing it? And I think before I was a bit more like this, and I could focus on my values. I think I found out what is really important to me, and how do I want to go through, not only go through life professionally, but as a person. Mm-hmm. It sounds a bit big, but Yeah, what I'm doing now is very close to my heart.
Yeah.
And I think without design management, I wouldn't have found this path. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Mhm. To build up on Tamara, so I think part of reflection and being mindful, this was like, wow, because sometimes you just do or live your life processing without really thinking why I'm doing that or how. So we have this course about food, for example, and this is something daily. Actually, we are in connection every day, and you don't know, like you just easily eat and sleep, and somehow like this is like make me like think about how I'm eating, what's that, from where it comes, like, and this is for me like also understand, because this is also my interest about food, but it changed my way of living in a personal level, also of perceiving and thinking about things, especially also like I'm like careful and about sustainability. So okay, how I do consume my things, how I could do it, how I could live with it. So for me, like I know if I didn't, for example, use this or now wanna buy a product, so do I need really to buy this one? And these things, like through the study, like also like give you a personal level of thinking about your life and be mindful about that. So it helps also like in a personal level, to grow.
Yeah. Nice. So not just a school for the profession, but school for life in a way. Yeah. Nice. Now I have a question. That if you look, no, it's not. If you look back at when you studied design management, would you study it again? So somehow, and why?
You want to go first? Yes. To say it short, yes, I would. Yeah, I have to say that, right? No, but I really would. Yeah. Sometimes, to be honest, when I was looking for a job, I wasn't sure should I be more specialized on something. But I quickly realized, now that I have this job, that this brings so many skills that other study programs do not have. Not to compare, but others are very focused on their area, and I think we are not. And that's why I would definitely do it again. Yeah. It is difficult to find your place, but once you have it, and once you're there and you know how to bring the value to people, it's great.
I do agree, yes. Because I would say it's abroad, so I just see this poster there. So actually this is what I always think, okay, now I could actually start taking the next step of I want to special in something like doing a master's, or I want to work in this field. Mm-hmm. And this is what I would say, like the bachelor gave me the opportunity with different skills, different areas, where actually, like as Tamara said, the real market now, they don't know a lot, like what's that and which kind of skills you bring, and you have the opportunity here to learn different skills, like also like knowledge-wise about like, okay, organization, behavior and development, sustainability, customer experience, service design, all of that is very, I would say, privilege, I would say, for me, like to have the chance. Like I always think about service design before as an architect, I was like, what's that? And I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. But later when I entered the program, I'm like, okay, now I understand what's that and how I could move on. And for me, this was a great opportunity to have different levels that later you could actually start to go and continue even learning or working. So this was for me like the big learning, like also like interest in the DMI. And the second point, through the 3 years, the course have developed a lot and shift also with the needs and what you really want, like in the future in that sense. And I found this is also very important because it's very like, okay, what is the like skills now you need? For example, like we have, I would say, about sustainability, circularity. This is like a crucial or like a real problems, challenges now in Switzerland, outside of Switzerland. And this is for me like something like, okay, I could actually apply and work for it. And this is something also related to my values. So I see like it's nothing like about the study that I could actually later apply in, for example. So, yeah, innovation strategies also as well. So, yeah. Yes.
And a last question, because our audience is looking for something to study, and what tips would you give? How to make a decision what to study?
Yeah, difficult. I mean, for me, it was about thinking a bit into what do I want to do later. But now in DMI, don't think too much about what you want to do later because it will come. But I guess just see what kind of values you support, and yeah, what is of interest to you, and then the rest will form. I think thinking too much about what you want to do after could maybe hinder you a bit. Yeah, to stay open. At least the study programs that are here, I think it's good to be just open to learning, follow your interest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'll start with the point of your interest. What are you passionate? Where is your value? Because this is what actually, in the end, you could sustain your future with these values, I would say. And yeah, it in a way, through the process, it's a journey in the end for 3 years with different fields. In the end, you're gonna sometimes, first year, maybe you find, I'm more into this. Then second year, especially when you start to also working with project and partner, you could see more interest in this direction. I would say also be open to learn and be open to also join, some people, I want to work more in the social side, or some people want to work more service design. And with this kind of different projects that we did in the DMI, it will also open your eye, no, I'm more actually interested here. So sometimes also being resilient is very important to learn and unlearn. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Tamara and Yehia, for being back today here and sharing with all of us your experience, and also for being so honest and open and candid, also your personal growth. Yeah, and that's it. I wish you all the best and hope you come back soon again and share with us what you're doing. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.